103 pointers through 2 preseason games. What do you like about the style you guys are playing so far?
Unselfishly, I think the guys are reactive. Reactive offense, read and react. Guys like VP spraying the ball around. You get Draymond unselfishly. I think it just trickle down the line from Steve that's preaching that being unselfish every day and making the right basketball play and the right read. Steph gonna be Steph out there, but just reacting and reading off them and playing off the guys and learning guys' tendency and just trying to play the basketball on both ends and be together.
How does this system compare to some of the other teams you've played for? Steve brought up Luke Walton's offensive system when you were here in Sacramento.
Just to play. I think players makes it differently, and I think that you have the mindset of being unselfish. That carries over a lot. I think the Warrior system. They always preach being unselfish, and I think that once you preach that coming in training camp and just playing for the others and sacrificing, I think that trickle down the line and shooting the shot that's open and making the right play for your teammate, and good things come from that.
How good does your shot feel right now? 6th tonight.
I feel all right. Just gotta take it one at a time. Keep working. Getting used to these guys, setting screens, running on the screen, getting conditioned to where I can be running around all day. And it's fun. Every day, every game brings a different challenge. And we get them again. So I made some, so we'll see what they do. But it's a good adjustment, and it's a good thing of basketball. You get another game the next day.
When you say your shot feels all right, that implies that it could feel much better.
I think so. I think as you play basketball, you always want to be as perfect as you can. You always want to, and as you get older, you always want to get better and better, improve yourself in this league. And that's the fun part about being in this league, just trying to improve yourself each and every day.
You guys made 28 3-pointers tonight. What do you like about the looks?
They were clean. The ball were moving, open shots. A lot of them was open. Just the ball movement make things happen.
Would you be surprised to know that would be a franchise record if it was the regular season? Warriors have never made that many threes in a game.
What, for real?
Yeah.
So, okay.
More to the point, you guys are really getting a lot up right now. I think you're taking more than a 3 per minute. You like the way it's flowing and the amount, the volume you guys are getting?
We spoke about it with Coach. As long as they look clean, the ball move, open ones, just take it, don't hesitate. And I think us taking the ones that open, going to facilitate the game more. So just taking as many as we can, but they're all pretty much open because the ball is moving.
You hit a few catch and shoot tonight. You had plenty last year, but I know you talked about wanting to get your percentage up. How good does just the straight catch and shoot feel for you?
I worked on it all summer, and I'm still working on it until now. And I'm just taking the ones that open, I'm taking the better ones with my feet safe because I know I'll make them. So I'm not overthinking about taking them. And actually, Coach wanted me to take the ones that open and not think about it because the more you don't think about it, the more you make them. So that's just my goal too.
What has Terry Stotts added to your guys' offense?
A lot of stuff, new plays, and mostly just telling us, like I said, just helping us with knowing how to move the ball side to side and switching defense.
How is he as a communicator? I saw him in the huddle, kind of talking to you guys a lot today in timeouts.
He's very good at communication. He's been a head coach, and he knows what he's doing. So every time he sees something, and he's helping us on offense even more. So he out there just trying to communicate as much as he can, but he's helping us for sure.
How comfortable are things starting to feel in the half court for you guys?
Like I said, it feels comfortable. The more we know each other, the more the ball move around, the more we keep stacking practices and stuff. It's gonna be real fun to watch because things gonna click faster, and then we all gonna be able to know each other.
This is the team that ended your guys' season last year, and this is the building that it happened. You play them a bunch of times. Always seems like you run into them. How do you think that you match up with the Kings this year?
I feel like we match up well. We always see them a lot, and I feel like this year we're going to see them a lot because we usually drive down here. And I'm just looking forward to to play against them anytime we come out here.
It It looked like you went to the locker room in the first half. I got hit in the face. What happened there?
Just like some skin came out of my mouth, just my lip, my bottom lip. Just got hit in the face when De'Aaron drove, and we got it patched up, ready to rock.
Did it need like stitches or anything?
No.
You guarded him to open the game tonight. I guess, how do you think you did in this match, and then just overall, where do you feel like you're at individually guarding, scores like that?
Yeah, I told Rick Celebrini and Yoder just like it's good to feel like coming into a new year like this, like when you feel like you're better than you were last year. Like it's easy for someone to tell you like, hey, you look better, you're playing better than last year, but when you're out there and you kind of actually feel that and you feel kind of better, that's just what I've been kind of experiencing out there the first two games. Obviously, the first game my shots didn't go in, but that's kind of the least of my worries. But in terms of defense, the only way you get better at doing it is guarding players like that. So to be able to do it in the preseason where it doesn't count, hopefully I get that same opportunity on Friday. And then just trying to guard everybody's best player out there, especially when I'm out there with Steph.
When you say feel better, is it like I'm laterally quicker getting the spot?
Yeah, I just feel from an offensive standpoint, the game's slowed down, drastically for me, especially in the pick and roll, making decisions. And then defensively, I feel, way better about my body and how I'm able to move out there. But like you said, you can't replicate that. We don't have anybody on our team as fast as De'Aaron. So to be able to replicate that, you just got to keep going against them.
What did you think of the starting group today and just how it flowed?
Yeah, I think it flowed. We made some shots early. We just got to figure out. I was talking to Steph about it, just how we can, play with two bigs out there with Draymond and Loon, or whether that be Draymond and Trace. Just kind of figure out spacing and how that's going to look. But like I said, this is what preseason's for. I'm probably going to go with a different lineup, I would assume, on Friday. So just about how can we play different guys together and what that kind of looks like. And then, come game one, Steve will be kind of have his mind up of what's going to be out there.
To that point, what did you like about that unit to start the second half? You're running a lot of point. How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, that's my position. Obviously, I can play both, but I feel more comfortable on the ball. And for me, my job when I'm out there as a point guard is to, get everybody involved. Obviously, Jonathan had a slow start, so, my focus was trying to get him mow the ball. And, thankfully they made some shots when I passed it to him, but just kind of doing my job out there.
To that point, right, how much are you thinking about getting guys the ball in spots that they like and then just maintaining the pace of the offense?
That's all I'm thinking about, just making the right play. I don't need to score the ball to impact the game, and I know that. So as a point guard, you're just out there to make the right play, and they're pulling it from the weak side a lot, so having guys out there that can make shots, it makes it easier.
You guys made 28 threes. What stood out to you the most about those three-pointers?
Ball movement. A lot of them came off an extra one more pass. And then, when you feel that and the ball is moving around, it just feels like everybody's in rhythm because they're touching it. And even if they're not shooting it, they got to touch the ball. And I think that's super important come, regular season playoff time. If everybody's touching it, it just makes things a lot easier. And, shout out to Coach Terry. He drew up some good stuff out of the timeout that gave us some easy looks, too.
You guys have taken 100 threes the first two games. Is there a moment out there where you're like, man, we're taking a lot of threes? Do you ever feel that?
Nah. Steve actually encourages it. That's really what we've been focusing on in camp. It's just been transition both ways and shooting threes. If we can hammer home those kind of three things of offense and defense and transition and shooting more threes, we have the personnel to do it. I mean, Buddy made 6. D'Anthony made 4, and then everybody kind of chipped in where they could, and that's how you get 28. And so I feel like it's a little bit different in the fact that we have more guys that can shoot the three besides, Clay and Steph.
The Celtics last year led the league with, I think, 42 three-pointers attempted per game. You guys weren't that far behind. Do you feel like leading the league is a possibility just in terms of volume?
Yeah, I think so. Being a finals correspondent for Game 4, I learned that Dallas and Boston were both top 3 in the league in attempted threes. So I definitely think it plays a part, and I think just based on our personnel and who we have, I think it is, a great possibility that we for sure can be top 5, but I think leading the league is definitely a possibility, just kind of based on who we have out there.
All right, we'll get Buddy in here now. Thank
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, Pete.
Steve, we've heard you talk a lot about how often or how much you guys want to shoot threes and shoot more threes. I know you don't want to put a number on it, but you took 52 today, way over half of your field goals. Does that kind of resemble how you envision the volume being?
Yeah, because I think almost all of them were good shots, and we're obviously not going to make 28 very often, but everybody was knocking them down, and they were in flow shots. We had 34 assists, so the ball was moving, and it's a fun group to coach. Our new guys fit right in to our style, and our younger guys are getting better and better, and we've got a lot of depth. You can see that. We've got a lot of guys who can play, and they're all doing a really good job of putting the work in and just focusing on playing hard and getting better.
4 threes for Kuminga. I know you wanted him in particular to shoot more. What did you see from the shots he was taking, and just how did he look with that trio in small forward today?
Yeah, he knocked down his shots, and that's what we've been telling him. You're open, shoot it, and especially if he's going to be a 3 with Draymond and Loon or Trace. So J.K. did a nice job running the floor and got in some foul trouble, but all in all had a nice game.
You've talked the last couple of years about just the NBA has become kind of like the variable game with the way
Kind
of a variable game with the threes, right? If you have a hot night, cold night, that almost dictates everything. Obviously, you guys seem to be kind of even leaning into that harder this year. Like from a coaching philosophy standpoint, like how much have you had to kind of get to this point that you're like, 50-something threes a game, that's fine?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of a slow burn. It's really a gradual process. The league has changed so dramatically. I think Mike D'Antoni changed everything with the Suns back in 2004 to 2010, whatever it was, that run where he started playing smaller and spacing the floor and shooting a lot of threes. But since that time, over the last 15 years or so, everybody is shooting more and more and more, and more threes. So the math just doesn't add up. If especially for us, we're not a team that gets to the free throw line much. So it'd be hard for us to win a lot of games unless we shoot high volume threes. And what I like about this team is I think we have. Even though we've lost Clay, we have more shooting depth. We have, I think, more guys who can step in from one night to the next and make threes. So it'll be a big part of our team for sure.
How'd you like the starters with Brandon in there and Loon in there as well?
Yeah, those guys all did a good job. Steph got off to the nice start. Brandon is a good fit with those. If you're playing with that front line, you need playmaking to go along with Steph's shooting. And Brandon, he's gotten really good in the high screen. He sort of is clever, gets people on his back, and then excellent passer, finding openings, on the perimeter. So I like Brandon's game tonight, and and then to come off the bench with that group, Buddy, and Buddy was smoking tonight, and Melton is such a good player. Kyle Anderson, I thought Moses played well. So we've got a lot of depth, and it's going to be a fun group to coach.
Buddy's obviously always been a really good 3-point shooter, but where have you maybe seen him? I don't know, not any different, but where have you seen him maybe progress in these last few weeks with you guys in that sense?
Well, he's always felt comfortable playing this style. When he played here in Sacramento for Luke Walton, they were running a lot of the same stuff that we run, and the stuff we're putting in with Terry, the Portland stuff. You saw some of that in the second half, the flares, and Buddy's built for that. So I think he's very comfortable. What I like about him is that he brings great energy every single day. He's got a smile on his face. He's always laughing. Everybody around him is laughing. And he just works. He puts in so much time on the court, loves the game. So, again, all three of these guys that we signed, our fans are really going to appreciate watching.
think to start the fourth quarter, you ran kind of a off-ball play for Buddy in the corner. It wasn't there. And then split action with Kyle in the post. I think it ended with Pajemski at the rim. Is that kind of an example of playing with a little bit more structure like you've talked about?
Yeah, so that was a Terry Stotts action. The Portland stuff that he ran with Dame and CJ. Part of the idea of bringing Terry here was that his offense resembles ours, but had more structure, based on personnel. And what was interesting about that play was it was all the old Portland stuff, and then we didn't get anything, and then it came back to the split game that we've been running forever. So that's what I like about some of the stuff that we're trying to add is it seems to blend well, what they did and what we've already done.
What did you like defensively tonight?
Not much, yeah, not much. We've got to get a lot better at that end of the floor. Gave up several back cuts in the first half, a couple more in the second. They picked us apart a little bit with their execution, and I thought, we're trying some things in camp, and we didn't game plan. At this stage in preseason, we're not going to be game plan specific. It's more about concepts, and so there were some things that we gave up that we probably could have prepared for better. But I didn't love the overall defensive execution, especially in the first half. I think we gave up like 68. And then, of course, none of their starters played in the second half, so the game got a little bit easier. So the point total, they scored 44 in the second. That doesn't mean we were great defensively. They took their best guys out. So we've got a lot of improvement to make at that end, but I like our defensive personnel, and we'll keep working. We'll get there.
This is a conference rival and a team you always seem to kind of run into a bunch. I'm just curious, they're adding a major piece with DeRozan.
Yeah.
I know it's a small preseason sample, but what did you kind of think of, and what do you think of that fit?
Of the fit?
Yeah, DeMar kind of.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player, and, obviously a guy who he's one of the best closers in the league, and so he'll be great for them, and obviously they've lost some guys as well, and all of us are for the most part, other than a handful of teams, we're dealing with some changes, and we all have to kind of find our way and find our identity. But DeMar's a great player. I'm sure he'll be great for them.